Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. We're reading from Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 10, entitled, I believe it's a branch of, or the desired tree, or tree of Lord Chaitanya, something like this. Yes. There is no mention of the title, the name of.
On the top page.
No. Maybe it's here. Main trunk of the Chaitanya tree and branches and its sub-branches. Hare Krishna. Texts 93 and 94.
Yes, 93 on board.
93 on board. Will you repeat which one?
As you like, the one with the purple.
Okay. I have to adjust the distance. Shodasha Vatsara Kaila Antaranga Sevana Swarupena Antardhane Aila Vrindavana. Translation. He rendered confidential service to the Lord for 16 years at Jagannath Puri, and after the disappearance of both the Lord and Swarup Damodar, he left Jagannath Puri and went to Vrindavan. Text 94. Vrindavane dui bhaira charana dikiya.
Vrindavane dui vaira charana dekiya.
Govardhane tyajiba diha brigupata kariya.
Govardhane tyajiba deha brigupata kariya.
Vrindavane, at Vrindavan, Dui, Bhaira, the two brothers, Rupa and Sanatana, Charana, feet, Dikiya, after seeing, Govardhane, on the hill of Govardhana, Tyajiba, will give up, Deha, this body, Brigupata, falling down, Karya, doing so. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami intended to go to Vrindavan to see the lotus feet of Rupa and Sanatana, and then give up his life by jumping from Govardhana hill. Purport. Jumping from the top of Govardhana hill is a system of suicide especially performed by saintly persons. After the disappearance of Lord Chaitanya and Swarupa Damodara, Raghunath Das Goswami keenly felt the separation of these two exalted personalities and therefore decided to give up his life by jumping from Govardhan hill in Vrindavan. Before doing so, however, he wanted to see the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. Hare Krishna. I read translation again. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami intended to go to Vrindavan to see the lotus feet of Srila Rupa and Sanatana and then give up his life by jumping from Govardhan hill. So we are reading here from about these great acharyas stemming from Lord Chaitanya, of his branches and sub-branches. And Raghunath Das Goswami is one of the most important personalities in our disciplic succession. He's our actually Prayojana Acharya. And as we can see from Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, at the end of every chapter, he prays for the mercy of Srila Rupa and Raghunatha. Raghunath Goswami is therefore one of the most important acharyas in our Guru Parampara. And from these two verses that we read today, we can take one important message for us. First, the message is that we should serve under the guidance of some spiritual master, of some acharya, some authority. We cannot penetrate spiritual understanding if we don't surrender completely our existence to the guidance of great soul. Many times we can hear in modern spiritual movements that we don't need spiritual master, and one may think that only the holy name is sufficient, because it's also mentioned in Shastra itself that no initiation is needed for the holy name to be efficient. So one may take such statements as an excuse why not to surrender. But we should know that this is crucial for our spiritual life. It's complete surrender. Not that we just surrender, but that we can surrender completely. Because from time immemorial, we want to be masters ourselves. And this act of surrendering is accepting, yes, I'm just a servant. I'm not a master. And this is the crucial point in our life, in our existence, actually. In our existence. To accept some other authority. If we don't accept authority, and we think, yes, I can follow Srila Prabhupada, I can follow Acharyas, and I don't need to surrender to a specific person because I'm already surrendered to Prabhupada's instructions and to Prabhupada's teachings. So why need this external surrender to some personality? Yes, we Jai Shri Shri Radha Parijishvara ki Jai Shri Gauranitai ki Jai Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadramayi ki Jai Nitai Gaur Pramanandi. Yes, we may think like this, but the problem is, and when we accept an authority, then we admit, yes, I give up my independence and I surrender to Krishna, actually, to Krishna's representative. I surrender to Krishna's representative. And this is extremely important to understand. Yes, we can understand philosophy by reading books. One may say Prabhupada gave everything in his books. And it's true. Prabhupada gave everything that we need to understand. All philosophy is there. But in his instruction is also to surrender. Yes. So if we take Prabhupada's books as an authority for our life, that means that if we don't surrender to Guru, it's Guru Avagya. It means offense to Guru, and it's offense to the holy name, because offense to Guru is one of the offenses of the holy name. So, although this statement that no initiation is needed for the holy name to be effective, if we want to chant without offense, we have to accept Guru. Of course, if we haven't heard these statements and we didn't take to the path of Krishna consciousness because of the instruction of Srila Prabhupada, but we just have heard the holy name, the holy, with this innocent heart, then the holy name has full potency. If we have no offensive mentality, it has full potency, and we can develop love for God just by once uttering the holy name, no problem. Holy name has all power in itself. It's Krishna himself. Yes. Nama Chintanamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigrah Purnak Shuddho Nitya Mukto Binatvam Name Namino. There is no difference between Nami and the Namni, the name, and the Nami and the Nama, the name and the named one. Yes, and it has full potency. So, these statements are true in Shastra, but we should understand very thoroughly that we should take them in their totality, not that just we take one small part of Shastra and then we think that we can go around other things. Yes. And even in Raghunatha Chandrika of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, that explains the path of spontaneous devotional service of Raganuga Bhakti. It is explained, Shruti Smriti Purana Dipancharatra Vidim Vina Aikantiki Harir Bhaktir Utpate Eva Kalpate. That even if one has so-called Aikantiki Bhakti, one-pointed devotional service only, if it is Shruti Smriti Purana, if it's not following Shruti Smriti and Puranas, then it's Utpatayeva Kalpati, only disturbance and nothing else, no bhakti, really. So we should take it seriously. So we take the holy name with this proper understanding. That the holy name is Lord Krishna himself, and Hare Krishna. That we take it according to the instruction of our acharyas. And instructions of our acharyas is to accept initiation and surrender to Guru. So we can see here Raghunath Das Goswami was of course eternal associate of Lord Chaitanya, but he rendered confidential service to the Lord for 16 years at Jagannath Puri, and he did it with extreme renunciation actually. And since he is Prayojana Acharya, this is some message for us also. Because we have to understand that we are Tatashta Shakti. What does it mean that we are Tatashta Shakti? This means that we are not independent. We are always dependent on some energy of the Lord. We are not independent. We'll always be dependent. So either we will be dependent on Krishna's internal energy, Krishna's spiritual energy, that means Srimati Radharani, or we'll be attached to his external energy, to Durga Devi. Maybe we can say that we are attached to to spiritual life and Srimati Radharani, of course, but we act with attachment on material life. And if we act attached to material things, to material comforts, to material ideas, to material recognition, and so on, actually we are attached to Durga Devi more than to Srimati Radharani. Yes. And as Lord Jesus Christ said, that we cannot serve two masters. Either we'll serve the one and despise the other. Yes. So we should take it seriously. Spiritual life. Spiritual life is not, if you want to achieve success in spiritual life, of course. If we want to just take to some watered down spiritual life, some meditation and idea, yes, I'm spiritual, then we can do whatever we want, actually. But true spiritual life, that means that we want to achieve our goal, that is pure love of God. It's not amateur sport. Yes, it's top, how it's called, top professional sport. Yes. And I read somewhere that some runners have said this: there's only one level of commitment, total. Yes. And even if you want to be professional runner, you want to be top runner, so you have to totally commit to what you're doing. So how more this applies for spiritual life, because spiritual life is completely unnatural for our current state of existence. Yes, our current state of existence, or at least for ordinary souls, is to be completely engrossed in matter, to be completely dedicated to their mind and senses. And their whole life is based on this idea, how to how to protect my existence, because our existence is eternal by its very nature. So, and at the same time, we are ananda mayo vyasat. We are living entities of pleasure. Everyone wants to experience pleasure because this is our constitutional nature. So, if we are not completely engrossed in spiritual nature, in spiritual understanding, in spiritual life, then we will definitely try to seek this pleasure and existence in material life. And there will be fear. So we can check our heart. If there is a scent of fear in our heart, it means that we haven't surrendered our heart really to Krishna. Because this fear is just of our material existence. We want to protect our material existence because we are eternal. So we want our existence to be eternal. And if we are attached to our material life, we want to protect it because we identify with it. Although we may say, I'm not this body, but on actual level, subconscious level, we always try to protect it. Yes. Therefore, we engage in so many activities just to protect our existence. Of course, we can also envelop this in philosophy, that this body is a tool or instrument for Krishna's service. And it's true. And we should not artificially renounce things just because of this understanding that I'm not the body. But we should have understanding that this body belongs to Krishna only. And this applies also to this next verse. Although Raghunatha Das Goswami is Prayojana Acharya, and as Prabhupada explains here in the purport, that this system of suicide, especially performed by this system of suicide, the jumping from Govardhan Hill, is especially performed by saintly persons. Rupananda Sanatana Goswami didn't approve these suicidal tendencies or desires, because one should understand, and it's interesting that even Sanatana Goswami, he wanted also to give up his life by throwing himself under the cart of Lord Jagannath during Rath Yatra festival. But Lord Chaitanya taught him that this, although this is also a system for saintly persons to commit suicide, to throw yourself under the cart of Lord Jagannath, but Lord Chaitanya explained that this is not proper thing to do, because your body doesn't belong to you. Yes. Your body belongs to me. You have already surrendered your life to me. So, but even if you don't surrender, this body belongs to the Lord and to no one else. It doesn't belong to us. So we don't have the right to do anything with this body on our own terms, according to our own ideas. So therefore this surrender is so important. Then Guru says something, we should do it, if it is according to Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. Yes. So we should do it. We should understand that yes, he's number one and I'm number two. And this is very important to understand, that this decision should be thoroughly sincere to accept the Guru. It's not a thing of fashion or because of some social pressure. Because if we accept Guru from any other reason than this deep understanding that yes, I need a Guru, I have to surrender to Krishna through his representative, because this is Lord's desire. Because if I really want to be Krishna's servant, I have to fulfill his desires, isn't it? And his desire is Guru Padashraya Tasmat Krishna Diksha Dikshikshanam Vishrambhina Guru Seva Sadhu Vartmanu Vartanam. The whole Srimad Bhagavatam, whole Chaitanya Charitamrita, and also Srimad Bhagavad-gita, they all explain that we should accept Guru. Yes, in many different places. Yes. Even Prahlad Maharaj taught his schoolmates that the proper path of devotional service is to accept the Guru. Yes. Guru Shushushaya Bhaktya, Krishna Diksha, no, the Guru Shushushaya Bhaktya, Sarva Labdha Paninacha. Sangena Sadhu Bhaktanam, Ishvara Radhaninacha. So, one next very important thing that Prahlad Maharaj states is not just that we Guru Shushushaya Bhaktya, that we serve our Guru with devotion and give everything for him, Sarva Labdarpanena cha. Whatever we have should be used for Guru's service. But we should also keep saintly association of saintly devotees. Yes. Sangena sadhu bhaktanam. This is a very important point, because there are many who declare themselves to be devotees. But Prabhupada wrote in Back to Godhead from 1960, I believe, that is before he went to the West. He wrote something very interesting. He said that there are many who proclaim that they are devotees, but Prabhupada was a chemist, and so he made this comparison from chemistry. And he said, but if they're put in the acid test of devotional service, they would turn out to be materialists. So we shouldn't be materialists. We shouldn't turn out as materialists and just wearing outwards these insignias of devotees, skantimala or dhoti or sari or anything like this. But we should surrender in our heart to go through this acid test of devotional service, as Prabhupada says. Yes, so we should keep association of saintly devotees, not of materialistic devotees. Yes, this is extremely important, because if we keep association of materialistic devotees, it will definitely adjust our consciousness to their understanding. Therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that these pseudo devotees or materialistic devotees their association is more dangerous than association of materialists. Yes, because when we associate with materialists, and we want to be devotees, it's obvious that this association is not good for our spiritual life. So we are on guard, and we don't accept their ideas, we don't accept their consciousness, we don't accept their worldview, we don't accept their values. But devotees who are not really dedicated in their heart, they have very similar ideas, very similar as we have. One who tries to reach pure goal of bhakti has. So they have very similar values, similar ideas, similar everything. So then we can think that yes, to have a strict ideas of spiritual life can be, it's maybe fanaticism. I shouldn't be such a fanatic. I should take it more easy, more natural. But we should understand that this natural thing in material nature is Maya, actually. It's natural. Everything that is natural is actually Maya. Yes, all these different desires that come to our mind, they're Maya. if they're not really desires for satisfaction of Guru and Krishna. Then they're Maya. Of course, we can see what is useful of these Maya desires. What can I take out of this and use it for Krishna's service? But I should understand that these desires for independent enjoyment are detrimental for my spiritual life. So I should pray to Krishna to help me to give them up. Yes, to give up this desire, not to give up service. That is maybe connected with current desires. Yes. For example, we may have some material job, and of course we have desires maybe to enjoy the payment for ourselves, and or at least some big part of it we can give some to Krishna, and we have peaceful conscious. Yes, I gave to Krishna. But actually we have desire to enjoy in our heart. So when we realize this, if we realize, it's not necessary to give up our job, but it's necessary to give up this tendency. But we cannot do it independently. We have to turn to Krishna, because only Krishna has the power to purify our heart from material desires. So we should realize, yes, I have unlimited material desires. Who can count them? So yes, I surrender to you, Krishna, please help me. I am completely helpless. And this is reality. We are completely helpless, and Krishna also acknowledges this. He says, Devi Kesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratya Mam Eva Yi Prapadanti Maya Metantaranditi. My Maya is Duratya. You cannot go beyond it. It's so powerful. It's not in your power to go beyond matter, because all the instruments that you have, this intelligence, mind, your senses, and so on, are matter themselves. So you cannot go beyond matter with material means. Yes, it's contradiction. Yes. We cannot go out of water with water. Yes. We'll be wet in both circumstances. So yes, only if we surrender to Krishna, who is beyond Maya, we can go beyond Maya. So yes, this is extremely important to understand, that we are helpless. So surrender is completely necessary, and service mentality. If we don't accept Guru with this consciousness, as we mentioned before, with utmost sincerity, then it is really dangerous for our spiritual life, because then we'll try knowingly or unknowingly to find faults with our Guru, because we want to be number one, we want to be the supreme. This is our disease, that's why we are here. And if we are not sincere in surrendering to our Guru, if we accept from any other purpose, because of social pressure or some fashion or anything like this, then it's very dangerous to find faults with our Guru, because then our ego will not uh, stand this idea that I'm not number one anymore. And therefore we'll try to prove to ourselves that actually this guru is not worthy of such complete surrender. Yes. And we'll find reasons why he's not worthy for complete surrenders. And if we want to find faults, Krishna will definitely show us faults. Yes. Even Shishupal found faults with Krishna all the time, for all his life. All he saw were just faults, nothing else in Krishna himself. So no problem. Because yes, Krishna explains in 7th chapter of Bhagavad-gita, Yo yo yam yam tanur bhakta krishadayartushtam ichati tasya tasya chalam shraddham tam eva vidadamaham. Tam eva vidadamaham. I myself give faith according to one's desire. If one wants to worship demigods, he will develop faith in demigods. If one wants to be atheist, he will develop faith that there is no God. Yes, there was one atheist we discussed. I was in my work, and he came as a some business partner. But we have such private discussion, friendly discussion. And he saw that I'm a devotee, and he said, but I'm an atheist. And I said, I'm surprised that you have such a deep faith. And he was surprised by my statement. How can I have a deep faith? I'm an atheist. Yes, because if you say you're atheist, it means that you have very deep faith that there is no God. Yes. How can you prove that there is no God? You have no proof whatsoever. But still, you have deep faith that you declare yourself that I'm an atheist. So I'm surprised that you have such firm faith. And basically, I didn't say him this, but basically it's not based on anything. So atheists have blind faith only. Yes, so they're blind believers. Atheists are blind believers. Yes, their faith is not founded on anything, on any scripture or any proof or any science, nothing whatsoever. Just blind faith. Just sheer envy, actually. So yes, what was the theme? Yes, Krishna gives us faith. This is my point, that we want. And Krishna will also show us whatever we want to see in our Guru, whatever we want to see in Krishna. Yes. And Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo, I am source of everything, I am this, I am that, surrender to me, to me only. Then we can see Krishna is completely puffed up. Yes. If you want to see faults, we can see he's completely ego trip. Just me, I. Yes. So if we want to see faults in our Guru, Krishna will definitely show us. Unlimited faults, not just one or two. Unlimited faults. Yes, therefore it's so important. And when Raghunath Das Goswami lost his protectors, Lord Chaitanya and Swarup Damodar, he went to Vrindavan, to the most holy land. And we know from the scriptures that one should live in Vrindavan, actually. Rupa Goswami says in Upadeshamrita that this is the essence of all advice. That we should live in Vrindavan under the guidance of the residents of Vrindavan. But we know from nectar of devotion that if it is physically impossible to go to Vrindavan and live there, one should mentally do this. So we should live in Vrindavan all the time, actually. And wherever there is Krishna, there is Vrindavan. Yes, there is Vrindavan. Krishna, because Krishna doesn't take any step out of Vrindavan. Even Krishna in Dwaraka or Mathura is Vasudeva Krishna. It's not Vrindavan Krishna. It's not original Krishna. It's expansion of Balaram. Yes, one of the Chaturvyuha. It's Vasudeva, feature of Krishna. So we should meditate on Radha Parisishvara, take them to our heart, and live in Vrindavan always. Yes, take shelter of Vrindavanavasi, Srimati Radharani, and their servants, because all their servants are all Vrindavan Vasis. So we should take shelter of Vrindavan Vasis. And of course our Guru is also, we can see him as Vrindavan Vasi. We sing every day like this in Guru Ashtaka, actually, that he is most intimate servant of Radha and Krishna in the Nikunjas of Vrindavan. Yes. So we should meditate in this way and live in Vrindavan mentally. And when we take shelter of Guru, we take shelter also of Rupa and Raghunatha, Das Goswamis. Because we are Rupa Nugas, we follow the instruction of Rupa Goswami. So, and it is explained that there are in sadhana bhakti, we try to, of course, in our sampradaya, we try to develop this deep relationship with Radha and Krishna. So it's important to have this internal meditation also, as represented by Guru Ashtaka itself. Yes, and then with singing to the Tulsi Maharani, that we have this internal, that we cultivate this internal desire, deep desire to have intimate service to Radha and Krishna. This is extremely important, not to forget about this. We are given this by Srila Prabhupada. And as I saw, although we have the same parampara as also Gaudiya Math, they don't have the same type of Mangalarati as we have. So Prabhupada gave us this most intimate Mangalarati. So it's very important, the most important program actually is lecture in Mangalarati. To hear Krishna Katha, Bhagavad-Katha, and to go to Mangalarati, to deepen our meditation, to our connection with this most intimate mood. So it's not advisable to just mechanically sing our songs, but that we know what we sing. Yes, and that we can try to connect on deeper level. So yes, Raghunatha Das Goswami is perfect example of sincere devotee. He gave up everything just for service of the Lord, and we should take his example. Of course, we cannot imitate him, because if we try to imitate him, we will die. That will be obvious from the next verses. I think, yes, we will read this next week. It is not possible to imitate Raghunatha Das Goswami, but we should follow his example really sincerely and from all our heart, if we want, of course, to achieve the goal of devotional service. Yes. And we all want to achieve the goal of devotional service. Even the most ardent atheists want to achieve the goal of pure devotional service only and nothing else. Why? Because they want to be perfectly happy. And perfect happiness is possible only in love. There is no other happiness than love, actually. We can have everything in this world, but if we don't love anyone, the life is miserable, isn't it? It's completely miserable. And if no one loves us, life is also completely miserable. So this love is what everyone is searching for, knowingly or unknowingly. So, and if our love is limited, I love to this and that extent, then what is beyond our limits of our love is some danger for my love, isn't it? Otherwise, I would love also this, what is beyond the limits. Danger for my existence, danger for my happiness. Therefore, I hate it, or at least I don't love it. Yes. So, actually, everyone is searching for absolute love. And absolute love is only love for Radha and Krishna. Nothing beyond it. So everyone, either atheists or theists, are searching only for this absolute love, knowingly or unknowingly. So we should start to search for it knowingly. Etavativa jigyasan tattva jigyasunatmana anvaya vyatarikapyam yat syat sarvatra sarvada. And this is the last verse of Chatushloki of Srimad Bhagavatam that explains Abhidaya Tattva, or path to achieve our desired goal. And it is explained that we should search for the absolute truth, search for our goal in every circumstance, at all time, directly and indirectly. So yes, I invite you to go deep, therefore, in your spiritual life, that you pray to Krishna to help you to give up your material life and just immerse yourself in service. Yes, because spiritual life means service, and material life means to be a master. But spiritual life means to be a servant. So to be immersed in service. Hare Krishna. Is there any question or comment or doubt? Yes, please.
Yes. I was surprised to read that actually Raghunatha Das Goswami wanted to go on top of Govardhan and commit suicide, knowing that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself will not walk on Govardhan Hill. So, how can we reconcile these aspects?
Yes, I don't know if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke about this to Raghunatha Goswami, not to walk on Govardhan Hill, because at that time Lord Chaitanya was alone in Vrindavan. Only Ballabhadra Bhattacharya was with him. So I don't know, actually. Yes, I also noticed this when I was reading these passages, that one should not step on Govardhan Hill. This is not the process in our sampradaya, because there are Vrajavasis who are walking on Govardhan Hill, and this is for Krishna's pleasure also. We shouldn't judge anyone. This is very important to understand, because Krishna has different standards and different ideas for different people. This is was illustrated by Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Pundarik Vidyanidhi was actually Vrishabhanu himself, the father of Srimati Radharani in Chaitanya Lila. And he was very strict devotee in many ways. Although he looked like an ordinary materialist, he was actually topmost devotee. And he worshipped Mother Ganges with all his heart. And so he didn't go to Ganges during the day, because so many people were there, and they behaved towards Mother Ganges according to his estimation, in improper way, because they were washing their clothes in the Mother Ganges, they were washing their pots in the Ganges, and walking inside the Ganges with their feet, and so on. So he couldn't stand this. So he went to the Ganges only during the night. No one were there, and just touched the Ganges and put it on his head. And when he saw how they treat Lord Jagannath in Jagannath Puri, they gave him starched cloth. Starch, you know what is starch? Yes, they gave him starched cloth, and according to Shastra, new cloth is starched by default. When you buy a new cloth, it's starched, because otherwise it would be wrinkled if it wouldn't be starched. So, according to Shastra, when you do some clothing for the deities, before offering them should be washed, this starch away. But they didn't. They put starched cloth on Lord Jagannath. And Pundarik Vidyanidhi and Swarup Damodar, they were walking and discussing this, and Pundarik Vidyanidhi said that this is improper. But they were more or less in joking mood. They were discussing this is improper to give Lord Jagannath starched cloth. And they were laughing. And then during the night, when Pundarik Vidyanidhi went to bed, Lord Jagannath and Baladev and Subhadra Mai appeared in his dreams, And Lord Jagannath and Baladev, they started to slap Pundarik Vidyanidhi. You criticize my devotees. And Subhadra was supporting them. Kill him. And then the next morning, the cheeks of Pundarik Vidyanidhi were completely swollen. And then Swarup Damodar Goswami asked Pundarik Vidyanidhi, what happened? And he was laughing and said, I received Lord's mercy. And then he explained, Lord Jagannath and Baladev slapped him personally. Yes, because of this offense. So although, yes, some devotees are walking over Govardhan, we should not criticize them, or we shouldn't walk ourselves on Govardhan. And I believe Raghunath Das Goswami also didn't go to Govardhan. He was advised not to go by Rupa and Sanatana Goswamis. Yes, but I really can't answer completely this question. I'm sorry, I don't know. Hare Krishna. It's okay. Anything else? One would like to add anything? Yes, please.
One question. It's 9:30, so people to eat prasadam. I just have one question about Raghunatha Das Goswami. Why he is? You said that he is one of our most important acharya, and I just wanted to ask why is that?
Yes, he's our Prayojana Acharya. Prayojana means goal of spiritual life. In order to spiritually progress, we have to have goal in our life. For example, if you want to come somewhere, you have to put your goal in your GPS. Otherwise, you cannot reach the goal if you don't know where is the goal. But other important thing is to know where are you now. If you don't know where are you now, you can't go to your goal either, because if I want to go, for example, I'm coming from Slovenia. If I want to go to Slovenia, I cannot go to West, because I will never reach Slovenia. But if I want to reach, I don't know, Madrid, I cannot go east. Yes, I have to go west. From this particular point. Yes, so therefore this is called Sambandha Gyan, to know where we are now, and not just where we are now, where we are eternally. What is our relationship with the Lord, who I am. This is called Sambandha Gyan. And Prayojana Gyan, and Raghunatha Das Goswami is Prayojana Acharya, is to know what is our goal. And our goal is intimate, loving service to Radha and Krishna. This is our goal, this is our Prayojana, the goal of our Sampradaya. So we should never lose our sight of this goal. Yes, because if we lose sight of this goal, or our desire to reach this goal, then our path will be in the wrong direction. Even if it is slightly in the wrong direction, If you start slightly in the wrong direction, after some time it will be completely off. So this should be always we should see our goal, or desiring, we should keep desiring our goal. And then is abhidaya jnana. Abhidaya jnana means to know what is the proper path to achieve our goal. And Raghunath Das Goswami explained in his writings, he expresses this deep yearning for intimate service to Radha and Krishna. And therefore he teaches us also how we should form our desires, what our hankerings should be. Of course, our hankerings are not in this particular time like this, but we should hanker to have these desires. Desire to have desires. Yes, this is the only hope. And and pray for these desires, because it's not possible to develop them ourselves. We should know that this abhidaya, or path to achieve our goal, is not achievable on our own strength. It's only by mercy. Krishna tad bhakta karunya matra lobeka hetuka pushti margataya keshchit iham raganu gochate. To achieve this raga bhakti, we need mercy. Krishna tad bhakta karunya. Karunya means mercy. So we should need mercy of Krishna and bhakta. And therefore we should cry for the mercy of Krishna and bhakta. And therefore, matra lobeka hetika. And this mercy is the cause of lobha. Lobha means greed. But we should not have material greed, but this greed for the intimate relationship with Radha and Krishna. And this comes only by Krishna tat bhakta karunya, mercy of Krishna and bhakta. Therefore we should pray and hanker. When we chant every day. At least this is recommended path to chant every day, at least 16 rounds of Mahamantra. Should be with this mood. Please Krishna, please Srimati Radharani, engage me in your service. Give me this desire, this ardent desire. I have no desire on my own. Please give me this desire. I don't ask for anything else. Give me just this desire. Because if I ask for anything else, we'll be given that something else. Yes, and we'll be cheated for something most valuable. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for your attention. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gantaraj Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande.